Welcome to Stuck in My Mind podcast, the show where we dive into the mind of a regular guy on his road to self-discovery. You'll hear everyday people just like you share the latest topics, personal stories, and things they've learned along the way. And now, please welcome your host, Wise.
And welcome to another episode. I am your host, WIZE, and I have a very special guest. I met this gentleman down at Podfest, and he's a great person. He is the president and founder of View from the Top, the founder of Sharpens Mastermind, and the creator of the Mastermind Playbook. Welcome to the show, Aaron Walker. What's going on, Big A?
Wise, it's all on you, man. What's up? You doing good?
I am doing great, brother. I cannot complain. I am blessed.
I was so excited, man, to be your guest. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, no,
Stuck
man.
in my mind. That's what we're going to hopefully leave with some of your audiences today.
I love the fact that I get to speak to you because, like I said, we met down at Podfest, and it was a great experience. I spoke to you and when your coworkers or anyway, it was a great talk. It was funny because you had sent me a message through the Hoover app about connecting, and then I didn't realize it was you after the fact, after we had the conversation, and I went back to my room. I'm like, oh man, this is the same guy who sent me the message earlier before we even arrived to Florida, and it was just meant to be. It was meant for us to sit down and talk.
Yeah, well, and here we are today, just 6 short weeks later, and we're doing a podcast interview together. So, man, how can I serve your audience well today, Wise?
Tell them what you do. Tell them about all the great things you're doing, because we spoke about it. What is Iron Sharpen Iron?
Yeah, we're a mastermind group. It's kind of like having your own trusted advisors, like your own board of directors or, peer advisory group. And I want to go back. I want to give a little bit of context to the reason that I even do this. I live in Nashville, Tennessee, 62 years now. We're kind of a rare breed in Nashville now. I've been here my entire life. We're actually 3 generations deep here, man. My roots go way, way back in Nashville. Married to Robin. We just celebrated our 42nd wedding anniversary. I have 2 beautiful daughters, 5 grandkids, and 2 knucklehead son-in-laws, I guess you could say. Started my first business when I was 18 years old. Had very good fortune. God really blessed our business. And when I was 27, I sold it out to a Fortune 500. And that was kind of a catalyst that allowed me to do a number of different things. And so fast forward to the year 2001, I was headed to the office. Things were really good in my life. We had all the possessions that you would want. Life was good, working 3 days a week. My partner working the other 3 days a week, until I had a horrific automobile accident. I ran over and killed a pedestrian on my way to the office, and it really rocked my world. I took the next 5 years off. I didn't do anything. We traveled around the world. We built another house, kind of got my legs back under me. My wife said, "You're getting fat and lazy. You need to go back to work." So I did. We were in the construction business, and then about 12 years ago, Wise, I retired for the third and final time. And my mastermind group that I've been a part of here in Nashville for decades, they suggested that I coach. And I didn't want any part of that. I said, I don't want to coach. I want to go down to the Caribbean and kick back. And they said, no, you're too young to do that. You need to coach. So I started coaching a couple of guys, really had some success with that, started doing a few podcast interviews, and God just opened the floodgates on us, and we started mastermind groups. I had done that for years, with the group of guys that I've been meeting with here in Nashville. And I turn around one day and look, and we've got 150 men from 4 different countries around the world. And God just keeps sending us amazing people. And so today we have 15 groups with 10 people in a group, and we're doing life together personally, professionally, and spiritually. So in every regard, every facet of your life, man, we tackle it head on, and we help you make great decisions.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. That is awesome. I commend you on that. And it's people don't realize you need mentors, you need coaches, in order for you to progress and move on, and because life is a learning, there's a lesson, it's a one big life learning lesson, and you need people to help you guide you along the way. And it's great to have people like yourself out there that have the experience and have been through what you've been through is tragic. Like I can't imagine going through that and having to live with that. And so for you to turn it around and start doing something where you're helping people be successful.
Well, here's the thing, you know, we always say you can go faster alone or you can go further, you know, with a group. And so we're a tribe, you know, it's that camaraderie, and we really lock arms. We get in the ditch with you. We figure it out. And people need people like this. COVID has taught us anything, you know, this pandemic that we've experienced, that isolation is the enemy to excellence. And if we really want to go far, we've got to get a tribe. We've got to have people around us that know us. And a lot of people tell me when I tell them that, well, I got buddies of mine that I contact and they give me good advice. And I'm like, how much do they know about you? He said, what do you mean? So how much do they know about your personal finances, about you personally, relationally, professionally, physically? Like, can they answer these deep, intimate questions? And that they'd be like, no, they can't answer all that. I said, well, how do they help you? Like, they can give you advice, but it may not be applicable to you. Like, wise, I bet there's things in your life that you have superpowers, right? But there's a kryptonite there as well. And then there's blind spots in your life. And if I don't meet with you on a weekly, monthly, annual basis, ongoing, I don't know anything about your wife, your children. I don't know how much income you make. I don't know what your desires are. I don't know what your aspirations are. I don't know what your propensity in life is. I don't know what your skill set is. Like, how in the world am I going to give you advice that's going to help you if I don't know the answer to those questions? A lot of people, it tickles me. They go to these mastermind meetups over the weekend. They sit around a bonfire roasting marshmallows, and they take advice from somebody sitting across the other side of the fire wearing a name tag. You just met them and they just told you how great they are. And they tell you all this advice, and you go home and change things. They don't know anything about you. And I just don't want to take advice from people that way. I don't know about you, Wise, but I'd suspect you're smarter than that. But a lot of people do that each and every week. And I want to encourage you, man, you got to get your tribe. You got to have your people, and you've got to have people where your core values are aligned with what the group you're in. Like, we have strong core values, like relationships matter most for us. We want to make it amazing. We hate excuses. Everything is figure outable. And then we've got to have truth before opinion. And when you've got other people where their core values align with that, you can more apt to take their advice because they know exactly where you're at.
And you're absolutely right. You need that tribe and that village around you. And I've been blessed that since I've been on this path, that I've been networking with some amazing people that have actually embraced me and brought me into their community and help me grow and teach me like things that I didn't know. Right. I don't come from this field. I wasn't in the media. I had a regular 9-to-5 job, worked at a casino. I still work there. I work at a casino. And this is just something that I just found that I enjoy doing, that I love doing. And it gave me a purpose. It actually gave me something to do. It being able to sit down and have conversations with people like yourself and help spread this knowledge and help spread these stories that people share. It's me leaving something for people there to watch or listen to or help them grow. Who knows who needs to listen to what we have to say right now in this moment? And to be able to provide that for people, to me, I feel so blessed to be able to do that.
You know, we're not for the faint at heart. In Iron Sharpens Iron Mastermind, we're about getting it done. Like, we want to move the ball down the field. We're not there to talk about how much beer you drink, how much golf you play, and what's the biggest fish you caught, and what, you know, we're not, that ain't us. You know, we're about aspirationally really doing life at a high level. We really want to go for it. Like, this is not a trial run. Like, this is it. It's game on right now. It's our life.
Yes.
And I don't want to get to the end of it and have regrets. And Wise, I know you don't either, man. You want to get to the other side and go, hey, I live life well. Like I crushed it. I left everything on the field. I squeezed every drop out of the towel. I gave it all I could give it. You know, I was the husband God intended me to be. I was the daddy God intended me to be. I was in community. I was in the civic organizations. I left it all out there. Like I left a legacy. That's what I want to be able to say at the end. I don't want to go, yeah, I meandered through, you know, give me a C. My mom used to say, if you get a C, you're just as close to the bottom as you are the top. And if you really want to excel, man, you got to be around movers and shakers. You got to be around people that want to level you up, people that are willing to throw the flag on you, people that are willing to say, no, Wise, you can't do that, man. If you work that many hours, you're going to be divorced in another year. Or if you don't go home and take that little boy to baseball practice, like he's going to grow up and resent you, and he's not going to have anything to do with you when you get older. And I want boundaries and guardrails, and I want people to be able to help me say, man, Big A, you can't do that. Like, I know you love to work, but you need to spend time with Robin and with those grandkids. And I need accountability. I need people in my corner that's really looking out for my welfare. And that's what we're all about in Iron Sharpens Iron.
Wow. Yeah, you do. You definitely need that tribe. You need that village. And again, you need people to hold you accountable and help you. Like people tell me, like, why do I do why do I want to help as many people as possible? Because I don't want to eat alone. I want to eat. I want everybody to be there with me. I want everyone to be at the table. So I want to help uplift as many people as possible to be with me.
Yep.
It's people say it's lonely at the top. I don't want to be at the top alone. Then I want everybody to be up there
That's
with
right.
me. Everybody that's associated with me.
Mm-hmm.
I want them up there with me eating. I want us all prospering and being happy. But again, it starts with holding each other accountable, being able to rely on each other and say, hey, you said you was going to do this. Here I am to help you.
Game on. Let's go.
And so I'm blessed that I have my nephew. I have my wife that she's very supportive. Once she found out that I was serious about doing this, she's like, you're good. Let's do this. Like, if you're serious about this, I'm going to help you build something here. And she's had my back 100%. So, and like I said, I'm blessed with it. My nephew, that once I shared my vision with him, he was like, I see it. Let's do this.
Wise, you know what happened back in 2001 when I had that automobile accident is that I came to the discovery of, what if I'd been killed that day? Like, I was 40 years old at the time. I'm 60. I'll be 62 on my next birthday. I was 40 at the time. And if I had been killed that day, it dawned on me that my legacy would have been this: poor kid from Nashville, Tennessee, makes enough money to retire at age 27 and nobody cares. And I'm like, golly, that is not what I want my legacy to be. I want my legacy to be, hey, Wise's life was different as a result of having interacted with Big A, right? Your life, the people I connected you with, how I helped you, how I inspired you and encouraged you, how I was walking alongside you and help you accomplish your goals and dreams. And you'll say, hey, man, my life was better because that old bald-headed guy right there. Like, I'm a better man because of him. That's what I wanted my legacy to be. And so that's the reason I've poured myself into Iron Sharpens Iron. That's the reason we have people all over the world now that are accomplishing their goals. I want to tell you a cool program that we created called Come As You Will Be. And what that means is you've got to come before your group and you've got to go, okay, just as though you had accomplished it. And we look 3 years out and you say, hey, I'm Wise and I've got 1 million downloads a month now, and I've written 2 best-selling books, and I drive a new, Tesla, and this is how much money I'm making. And you own it. Then we go back and we reverse engineer it, and we look at those 5 areas I pointed out a while ago, and we say, okay, Wise, if you want to do 1 million downloads a month, here's what we're going to have to do over the next 3 years. These are the tasks that we've got to do to get you there. If you want to drive that new Tesla, it costs $150K. This is what you've got to do every month in order to be able to afford that. And we reverse engineer everything. You know what's happening in our mastermind? People underestimated what they could do with that level of focus, and they undershot their goal. And so now what they're doing is revising it. They're increasing their goal because they underestimated what they could do in a designated period of time. And so when you've got that level of accountability every week, you know specifically what it is that you want. You know what the sad part is, Wise? Most people don't know what they want. I ask that question all the time. Geographically speaking or financially speaking, if you had no limitations, what would you do with your life tomorrow? 9 out of 10 people can't even answer that question. When you come to our group, we help get you clarity. We help you understand the path that you can go on in order to have that level of success. But what I understood that I was missing wasn't financial success. I had that. What I was missing was significance. And I even wrote a book called View from the Top, How to Live a Life of Success and Significance, because you can do both simultaneously. You don't have to live one and then live the other. You can do it tandemly, hand in hand, each and every day. When you have a tribe that's walking with you, you can live very successfully. Now, listen, I want you to make money. Don't hear me wrong. I hate it when people with money go, money's not important. I want to go, you're a liar. It's very important. Let's take it away from you and see how important it is. Like, money is a tool. And I want to use it as a tool. I don't want it to govern my life. I don't want to wake up and go, man, I just need to make more money today. I want to know why I need to make more money today. How much am I going to give away? How much am I going to support others? What can I do for my grandkids? Like, how can I shore up other people's lives with this as a result of me being a good steward over the money that I've been entrusted with? Like, how can I really look after this money in a way that would be pleasing to the people that are around me? And you start looking at that. Here's the funny part. Because of this transformational experience that I had 22 years ago, I make more money now than I've ever made. And my life is much more significant now. I'm helping other people accomplish their goals and dreams, because that's what we do in Iron Sharpens Iron. We get in the mix, we figure it out, and we help take people to maximizing their life. And so it is just so rewarding to be able to have this level of purpose and meaning in life. And there's so many people following this path. It's just a brotherhood like you've never experienced before. A lot of you women are out there today hearing my voice as well. We do have a mastermind for women of the wives of the men that are in the group. So now they're doing it collectively as a family. And can you only imagine the level of success they're having, because they're both growing simultaneously. So, man, Wise, I just pinch myself every day, man. I'm thinking I get to do this every single day, seeing people have this level of success and significance. It's just life-changing.
And it's a blessing, man. It really is beautiful to even be able to sit here and speak to you. And it's funny because when I met you down in Podfest and we had a great conversation, and I told you my story, and I told you I was doing a book on podcasting. And after we spoke and I told you my story, you were like, you can't do a book on podcasting. And I want to go, why? Because you need to tell your story. If you're going to write a book, you need to write a book on your story, because it's a powerful story.
Yeah.
It's an impactful story. And everybody writes a book on podcasting, you said. Just that you need to tell your story. If you're going to write a book, make sure it's your story. And it made sense. It made a lot of sense to me, and thank you.
Yeah, man. Listen, the story's unbelievable, and you need to be sharing it with the world, right? There's only one Wise, right? And so your story is going to impact other people's lives. I start thinking back on my life. Like, I was literally a poor kid from Nashville. Like, I had no money. My family was broker than a convict. I mean, we lived in a 600 square foot house. There were 6 of us. And my dad never made over $15,000 a year in his life. Like, we were broke. I know all about it. And then we lost our house in bankruptcy on top of that when I was a kid. I was really motivated to make something out of my life. I have no college education whatsoever. I have a lot of determination, perseverance. I want to succeed in life. And I know in order to do that, you got to surround yourself with people that want to go on that path as well. And Dave Ramsey invited me to join his mastermind group decades ago. I was Dave's second sponsor on his show. I sponsored his show for 21 years. We became very good friends as a result of that interaction that we had for that many years. And when he invited me to join the mastermind, I didn't want to at first. I said, Dave's going to be all up in my business. He's going to be asking me all these personal questions, and I don't want to answer all those questions. Well, man, after about 3 months of being in that group, there were some amazing guys in that group. I went home and I told Robin, I said, man, I have found my people. She said, what do you mean? I said, well, quite honestly, I feel like they're more screwed up than I am. And I said, they're vulnerable, they're transparent, they're sharing their life. And I said, it's a safe place. And man, over the decades, it's just taught me, Wise, how to be vulnerable and transparent, because at that intersection is where real strength begins. And where we get into a safe place that we can share like that, man, you can just accomplish so much more, because you're able to get feedback. You got the consensus of the multitudes. You got people around you that know you, that can answer all that data that I said earlier about your finances and about your spouse and your kids and your goals. And they can really give you advice that will help you. Man, I'll never not be in a mastermind group for the rest of my life. And I can promise you, the level of success that I've had is a direct result of having trusted advisors around me. And I just want to ask your audience today, who's helping you make your decisions? Like, you only have one life experience. You only have one filter. You can only see it one way. If you tried to see it a different way, you couldn't. You've got to have trusted advisors that can walk alongside you, that can give you the most valuable asset there is in masterminds, and that's a perspective. And when they give you new perspective, you're like, I didn't even know to know that. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know that was a possibility. And when you try that, you go like, dude, this works. Like, guys would give me advice and I'd go home and try it. And I'd be like, well, I've never been a husband, at 20 years old. I've never been a dad to a 16-year-old. I'd never owned a business that I scaled. And like, now I'm figuring it out because I got all this help. So I just want to ask your audience, like, who is helping you make your decisions? Like, if I thought I had to make decisions on my own, Wise, I'd crawl under the desk in a fetal position. I'd never come out. And I just want to tell you, man, that when you do have your tribe, you're going to excel much, much faster.
It is. It's I know it because, like I said, since within the last year or so, networking and going to Podfest and developing relationships there, and then developing relationships with other people that I've connected through my podcast, you can see the growth in everything that I'm doing. You can see me transforming because I'm learning from people that are doing it, that are
they've been there and done that,
yeah,
right?
I don't like, as far as production wise and all that, I'm learning from people who've been doing it for years, who have major experience, and to be able to speak to them and pick their brains, and then also build a relationship where it's just not about podcasting. We're talking about families, talking about what's going on in our lives, and being
Your
able
community,
to and being able to express yourself. Whereas before it was, oh, you're a man, you don't need to share your emotions, you don't need to share what's going on in your life. It's personal. It's no one's business. And I, not knowing that this is what it takes for you to grow and develop, is to be able to build that network and build that relationship with those people, and be able to show the vulnerable side of yourself. Because when people see that, hey, he's allowing himself to be his true self to be seen, then that's when they're open up more to you as well.
I came home when I was about 35, 38 years old, and Robin said, thank you for providing for our family well, but this is not what I signed up for. I'm like, what are you talking about? I came home with a pocket full of money to a house full of strangers. And see, I had to go and apologize to my kids and my wife and say, hey, I guess I'm addicted to work. I love to work. And it was always just open up another retail location, get a bigger house, get a place on the beach, make more money. There's nothing wrong with those things. But man, I was kept moving the bar, and that required more bandwidth and more time and more energy and more effort. And my wife was taking my little girls to Girl Scouts and to cheerleading practice and to ball games. And she said, I need you to be their daddy. I need you to show up and be my husband. Like, I need you to turn it off at some point. And I was like, man, you're right. And thankfully, I turned the ship around and I was able to say, hey, I'm going to be available. I'm going to set boundaries and guidelines. Then the mastermind came along and helped me do that, helped me really monitor and prioritize my priorities. and helped me really figure out what this life was all about. And that's what my mission is to help ordinary men become extraordinary in all they do. Because if you make a lot of money and you sacrifice your family to get it, you still go home a loser. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. My little girl wants to pitch baseball or go out and play Barbie dolls. Like, I need to spend some time doing that, because if you don't, she's going to get attention somewhere else, and you may not like where she gets attention. And then later, when you've got time and they've gone off to college, they'll be like, sorry, Dad, I got my own life now. I'm busy. That would be miserable. And I don't want to have those regrets. And I want to help your audience understand that can happen to you if you're not careful. And I just want to help people out there today to really focus on the things that are most important. Now, everybody says, oh, my family's all important. Well, it ain't the most important if you're not spending your time there. You can say whatever you want, but your actions are speaking clearly. And so you got to look at your time and say, how much time am I investing in my wife, in my husband, in my kids? And I can look at your checkbook and your calendar and tell what's important to you. And so really sit back, take notice, and nobody else can take your place. But if you're not careful, somebody will take your place. And so you got to be real careful the way we allocate time and money.
You do, yeah. It's time, and that's something you don't have a lot of. Is time, because you're not, like I said, you're not guaranteed. So every moment that you can spend with your loved ones is very important.
Yeah.
And we're kind of going through something like that right now with my mom. She's 84. She's turned 84 this year, and she's dealing with early stages of Alzheimer's, and so, but she lives with my sister, but my sister. There's days that my sister needs her time alone. She needs her space, and so that's for me and my brothers to come and step up and then take some time and spend some time with my mom and ease that burden for my sister. Yeah. And so it's, again, it's being able to make the time, and because you make money, comes and goes. It comes and goes. You make it and whatever, but those precious moments, those times with your family, those are the moments that you'll cherish forever.
You only got one family, and you only get one go through, right? You can get other companies, you can make more money. You only have those teenagers until they're about 16 or 17. Then for the most part, they're gone, right? They get those driver's license wise, they're out of the house, and you can't recover that. You just can't. Now, if you're hearing my voice right now and you've kind of messed up, you can start today. Go to them and say, hey, Dad's not been here like I should, and I want to apologize, but I'm going to set some of this stuff on the back burner. Some of these things I can get to later. I'm going to be the dad I was called to be. I'm going to be the husband I was called to be, and we're going to do this life together, right? Because it's not that hard to make money, and it's not that hard to start companies, but you just don't get many do-overs with the family.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I agree with you 100% on that. Oh man, Aaron, I've been looking forward to this talk. It's like, when I seen it pop up, I'm kind of like, oh, today's the big talk with Big A, man. It's been, and I enjoyed the personal video you sent me. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed that, Wise. And I know we're finishing up our time here, and I just want to encourage people to really think through your personal life. I want to encourage you to really dive deep and to ask yourself, what is it that I want? What is the mission that I want to accomplish? What is the why that I'm doing what I'm doing? Are you miserable? Are you hating what you're doing? Life is too short, Wise, to hate what you're doing, right? Figure out a way to transition, to enjoy it, to have that energy, that determination, that grit, that motivation to really do things that matter, things that move the needle, things that there's going to be a legacy as a result of what you're doing. Now, you may not be able to go out tomorrow and do that, but if you are honest, you got great clarity, you can answer those questions, man, I promise you it will be a life changer. Also, get accountability in your life. I meet with 3 guys, and I've been doing that for almost 30 years. Every Monday morning, 6:30, we get together and ask very intimate, direct questions. I walk life with them. I've been in a mastermind now for 2.5 decades, every week for at least 25 years. I don't know where I would be without my tribe. I mean, I can pick up the phone, I can call people, I can get answers for anything I want because I've built a community. You can do the same. If you're hearing my voice right now, like I'm not the sharpest tack in the box. I'm just willing to work hard, right? Because I want to maximize this time that I have here on earth. I don't want to get to the other side and say, I had it neutral, I coasted, I made just enough to get by. Man, there's so much of the world I want to see. There's so many people I want to help. There's people I want to give money to. There's charitable organizations I want to support. I want to make a difference. And I want to get people around me that's willing to do the same thing. So if that's you, listen, it doesn't have to be my group. Go get in another group. Start your own group. It doesn't matter to me. But if you are interested in us, I would just invite you to go to viewfromthetop.com. That's spelled with a V, Victor, viewfromthetop.com. Check us out. Look at what we're doing. Come and be a part of our tribe. Be involved in our mastermind. Have your own board of directors, these peer advisors that can help you make life decisions, professional decisions that will absolutely change your life. So I invite you now to go to viewfromthetop.com.
Oh man, thank you, Aaron, for coming by. I appreciate you coming on the show. This has been great. But you also have where else can they find you at?
Yeah, well, that's the easiest place to go, and all of our social media connections are there. My phone number is there. People like, you put your phone number on there? I said, well, how are people going to call me if I don't put my phone number on there? So listen, I'm easy to get a hold of. There's no commitment whatsoever for you to fill out an application. Let's just have a conversation. Right? I don't twist arms. There's no high pressure. We just want to see if we can provide you what you need to maximize your life. So go to viewfromthetop.com, fill out an application. Let's have a conversation. Let's see where it goes from there. Maybe we're not for you. And if we're not, that's fine. But if we are, I feel pretty confident, man, all these hundreds, if not thousands of lives that we've helped change over the course of my career, I think we can help you do the same. So reach out to us. Let's have a conversation. See if we can help maximize your life.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Don't leave just yet. We're going to talk a little bit after I give out my shout outs. But thank you once again, Aaron. This has been great. I appreciate you coming on. All right. So now it is time for shout outs. Big shout out to the Real Wise fam. Brandy J, Bobby J, love you guys. Big shout out to the boss lady, Fina. Love you, baby, and appreciate you. Big shout out to Big A, Aaron Walker, for coming through and sharing his story and sharing what he's doing out there. And you know what? It's funny because I have a Rodecaster Pro here that I need to incorporate. I don't incorporate my sound effects. I have it here and I don't incorporate my sound effects. So I need to switch that up. And big shout out to all the essential workers out there. God bless y'all. Be safe. You know how your boy Wise does it. Peace out.
Thanks for listening. Listen on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, and TuneIn. Find us on social media on Twitter at @wise_b_blunt, Instagram at @wise_b_blunt, and a Facebook fan page, www.facebook.com/wise76. Check back soon for new episodes. Until next time, peace out.